Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. As living is a science, dying is also a science. Those who have known how to die, they also know how to live. And those who know how to live, they also know how to die. Because life and death, these are the two stations in the continuous phenomena called as existence. Therefore, in this 8th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna takes up this theme. And this theme is the one which attracts maximum people. One day, one young boy asked me this question: Swamiji, what happens after death? I asked him, what is happening when you are alive? Nothing. So nothing happens after death. See, as much living is important, so much dying is important. And therefore, in the 7th chapter, when Bhagavan Sri Krishna told about the life, see me everywhere. Raso hamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryoho. Then you will come to realize mattaha parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. And thus, those who are able to see me everywhere, they are really divine. And when they leave this body, they come to me. So when this was said, Arjuna asked these questions. Knowing you fully, exhaustively means what? So with this 8th chapter begins, and the last question was Prayana Kalecha, at the time of death, Niyatatmabihi Katham Dneyaha Asi. How you are known, remembered by those who are Niyatatma. Niyatatma is those who are well controlled through the yoga abhyas. So, in reply to this, the topic that we are discussing, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Ma Manusmara Yuddhacha Mayyarpita Mano Buddhi Mami Veshasya Samshayaha. So, how to remember you all the time? Two techniques. One thing, always remember, every moment is the moment of death and life simultaneously. If you are miserable, you are dying. If you are happy, you are living. So, whenever you are miserable, remember the Lord. And yuddhacha, remain alert. Don't lead a mechanical life of dull-witted existence. And thus become alert and fix your mind on me. And for that, abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa ananyagamina. So when the mind is na anyagamin, when it is no more running here and there, and how this has become like this? Abhyasa yoga yuktena. By the yoga abhyas, he whose mind is totally fixed on the given job, such a person, anuchintayan, reflecting on what is studied from the Acharya, then he becomes one with the reality when he discards this body. Up to here we have seen in our last class. Now, Sarvasya dhataram achintya rupam aditya varnam tamasa parastan. So this reality, which is the substratum of everything, beyond the relativity, beyond the light and darkness, beyond the knowledge and ignorance, how this can be reached at the time of departure from the body. So this is the topic from the 10th verse onward. Prayana kale manasa chalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva भ्रुवोर मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम् प्रयाण काले मरण काले, when you are ready to discard the body, मरण काले मनसा अचलेन चलन वर्जितेन, the mind is no more getting lost into any other things. This point I told you yesterday. One of the spiritual practice is whatever we are doing or not doing, we must be fully involved in that. 100% participation in every experience of our life is samadhi. Yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadhaya. Normally what happens? We are doing so many things, but most of the things are done half-heartedly. So while taking food, we want to read the newspaper. While walking, we are seeing here and there and dash against something. While sleeping, other than sleeping, everything begins. So we keep on thinking about this, thinking about that. And when the question of thinking comes, then we are diluted, we want to go to sleep. In short, we have trained ourselves in such a manner that whatever we are doing, we must not cooperate with ourselves. Now this training helps us on the seat of meditation. So when you are sitting for meditation, other than meditation, everything happens in the same manner. At the time of departure from this body, if our mind is not well trained, then instead of thinking and remembering about the Lord, we will think and remember about that which we are not supposed to. And for that, nobody is responsible. It is we who have trained our mind like that. Like, most of the parents complain about the children. But they themselves have destroyed the children by over-pampering, by not disciplining. And then afterwards, see other people's children, they are so nice and my children are like that. Because you have trained them, now don't complain. Worse than that is our mind. Therefore here Bhagavan says, Prayana kale, at the time of departure from the body, manasa achalena, chalana varjitena manasa. That mind which is no more deflecting here and there, it is fully available to us. For what? For dying. See? That mind which was not available for living, will it be available for dying? So, manasa achalena, then bhaktya yuktaha, then the mind is full with devotion. Bhajanam bhaktihi taya yuktaha. So, these are the following conditions at the time of death. First, manasa achalena, mind is fully available for dying. Second thing, bhaktya yuktaha, the mind is full of devotion for the Lord. Third, yoga balena yuktaha. Now this is the third most important thing. Yoga balena yuktaha means what? Yogasya balam yoga balam. In your commentary, yogasya bale, if it is written, it should be yogasya balam. It's a printing mistake. So, yogasya balam, yoga balam, tena Samadhija samskara prachaya janita chitta sthairya lakshanam yoga valam. See what is the yoga valam? Samadhija samskara prachaya janita. By the practice of samadhi, and because of the samadhi, ja means born. That which is born as the result of samadhi, practice of samadhi. What is born? Samskara prachaya. Now the mind is fully trained and very much established in remaining or in obeying every order of ours. So samadhija samskara prachaya janita, and by this chitta sthairya. And therefore the chitta, the mind is absolutely calm and quiet and fully available to any given job. This is called as yoga balam. So the real strength is not controlling the outer things. The real strength is controlling our mind. If our mind is not controlled, then we imagine that we have achieved spiritual progress. We are deceiving ourselves. And when the mind is controlled, the mind remains calm and quiet, and the strength of the mind is the understanding which is intuitive. Intuitive understanding means what? That understanding which does not require to be told. So, such an alert, quiet, vigilant mind, samadhija samskara prachaya janita chitta sthairya lakshanam yoga valam. So, in this manner, having practiced the yoga abhyas, tena cha yuktaha ityartaha. So, prayana kaliya manasachalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva. So these are the qualities of the mind to be cultivated before we die. See how important it is. Therefore, many students, they study Vedanta. Because studying Vedanta is, any person can do that. Because it is a subject. And it is perfect. You can do that. And thereafter what happens? An illusion of wisdom dawns. The illusion of wisdom is the highest illusion. We start imagining, and now I know everything, Atma, Brahma, this, that. But as regards one's own self-control is concerned, it is minus. Forget about zero. How it is minus and zero? When I have no control on myself, my life, my habits, my interactions, my mind, it is zero. No control. Minus control means what? It is not only I am disturbed, but I disturb others. It's minor. See? So our presence become a disturbance to others. Because a disturbed person, in his vicinity, only disturbances are spread. Therefore, yoga balena chaiva, that is why it is very necessary for every seeker to spend daily, regularly, sufficient amount of time for controlling the mind. Now see, how many of us in our whole life have ever thought about that the mind needs to be purified, the mind needs to be quietened, and for that, like for reducing the weight, we take action. I will not eat sweet, I will do exercise, this we do. For keeping the clothes, everything clean, we wash properly, we dry them, iron them. That we do. But when it comes to the mind, how much time and efforts are specifically put forward for control over mind? When it comes to mind, we go to Mahatmas and complain, the mind is disturbing. See? It is something like that, many times, when people go to the ashramas, so now every place has got some or the other problems. That is why, those Mahatmas who have got ashram, they suffer maximum. So in one place where we were, and that Mahatma said, Swamiji, stay here, whatever days you want to stay. I said, all right. And there was some problem in the bathroom or this thing, that thing. Now I was knowing only that Mahatma. Now there is a problem in the bathroom. Now whom will I go and ask? So I went to him. Everything is fine. I said, everything is fine, except there is no water in the bathroom. Oh, there is no water? Okay, wait, I'll go and get it. Now, when our mind is under disturbance, we go to the Mahatmas and ask, our mind is under disturbance. So what the Mahatma should do? Tell. Whose is this mind? Yours. Then work on that. Yoga balena chaiva. That is why it is essential that we spend calculated time on self-discipline. When we sleep, when we get up, yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. So the self-discipline, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, he who is practicing yoga abhyas, he is naturally quiet. And his quietness is not born out of laziness, indolence and boredom. No. His mind is absolutely alert and fully available to any job, whether that of living or dying. Therefore, it is extremely necessary for us that we spend regular time on working on this mind. Otherwise, only imagine we are walking the spiritual path. So if our clothes are dirty, do we go to the Mahatma ji, my clothes are dirty, what I should do? Remove, I'll wash for you. No. In the same manner, if our mind is disturbed, then remove. How important it is. Therefore, yoga balena chaiva, discover inner strength. So, prayana kale manasa achalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva. Further, bhruvor madhe pranama avesha samyak. So, purvam hrudaya pundarike vashikritya chittam. So now this mind, which is totally controlled, now what is done? Hrudaya pundarike vashikritya chittam tat urdhvagaminyam nadyam bhumi jayakramena. We have seen the 5 bhumikas of the chitta. Do you remember in our Patanjali Yoga Darshan? What are those? Kshipta, Mudha, Vikshipta, Ekagra and Niruddha. These are the Panchabhumikas. So, we have to go step by step. Therefore, Bhagwan's words are Bhumi Jaya Kramena. So, we have controlled our mind from the external world. And after that controlled mind is available to us, then that mind is focused on Hrudaya Pundarika Madhe. So, Hrudaya Pundarike. In the lotus of the heart, that mind is brought. Vashikritya Chittam. Thereafter, Tat Tataha, from there, Urdhvagaminya Nadya, then from the Hrudaya, the Shushumna Nadi goes up to the Murdha. So, Urdhva Gaminya Nadya Bhumi Jaya Kramena. Bhumi Jaya Kramena is you are slowly conquering the mind step by step. First, the mind is no more kshipta. The mind doesn't run here and there. Now see, please understand this. When we are interacting with the world, that time our mind reacts, interacts, responds, enjoys or suffers outer world. When you are sitting on the seat of meditation, you have withdrawn the mind from all over and it is fixed in the heart. Now if the mind is not fully conquered from the first bhumika, called as the kshipta bhumika, then that mind will start manorajya, unwanted thinking process begins. So what is manorajya, uncontrolled habitual thinking? That is the kshipta bhumika of the mind. So the mind is disturbed for no reason. It is just running here. So within the heart it starts creating its own world. So first bhumi jaya kramena, first that. Then the second is moodha. Moodha is that the mind goes to sleep the moment it is exposed to silence. See? Those who have never practiced yoga abhyas and those who are living next to a railway track, they cannot stand silence. And such people, if they are exposed to silence, in a fraction of a second they go to sleep. Why? Because those who are expert in sleeping in the running train, how much expertise they have? That bhumika of the mind is called as mood bhumika. The first is kshipta, second is mood. And when this mind thus becomes mood, it cannot have any further journey out of the body. So second bhumika of the chitta, moodha bhumika. Now the third one is the vikshipta. Now what is the vikshipta bhumika? Vikshipta bhumika is the mind is obsessed with some theme. With some theme, the mind is unable to drop that. Maybe property, wife, children, friend, enemy, some kind of events, some kind of memories, some kind of good or bad experiences. Our mind gets so obsessed with that obsession, if we are to understand, it is something like Kamsa was obsessed with Krishna. So, while eating, sleeping, standing, walking, sleeping, only Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. He was obsessed. That is called as the vikshipta bhumika of the mind. Obsessed with something. And therefore, whenever our mind is obsessed with something, it cannot be fixed in the samadhi. One example I'll give you. There was a very good seeker in Haridwar or Rishikesh, and he used to stay with his guru and go to the Ganges, take bath and sit on the Ganges bank in one corner and spend time in contemplation, meditation. Now there are many, visitors to the holy place. So some people went and they saw this young man sitting in meditation, and this boy was unaware of everything. So they went, and what is the grahastha? Give money, that is all. Giving money is the only thing that they will do. Controlling the mind, forget about it. So he went and kept 100 rupees note and a stone on that so it doesn't go away. And after some time, when this young seeker opened his eyes, he saw, 100 rupees note. So Yadruchala vasantushtaha dvandvatito vimatsaraha. So he took that and put it. And then came and then started thinking. I think with this I will do a bhandara for the Mahatmas. I'll get laddu and feed the Mahatma. What with 100 rupees, how many laddus will come? Mahatmas are more than the laddus. I don't think I can. But I can give this thing to some students who are sincere students. They are money, don't have, I'll give them. But with this 100 rupees, how many, what things can I give? And this process started thinking. One day, second day, third day. And then his guru asked, I am seeing you are disturbed. What's wrong with you? Oh, this fellow catches at the wrong time. Yes. I don't know, these days my mind doesn't cooperate in meditation. I don't know what I should do. So he said, you must have been holding on to something. Nonsense. See, I told you he knows. Yes, the other day when I was sitting for meditation, this is what happened. And I was thinking, good things, not bad things. Doing good to others is a good thing. Giving charity is a good thing. Helping the poor student get education is a good thing. I was doing good thinking. But I don't know what happened. That's a separate thing. But I am disturbed. I cannot do meditation. He said, never mind. Go to Gomata. So he goes to the cow. That's why Mahatmas keep cows in their ashram. And bring this much of cow dung. So he brings cow dung. He said, make a pinda. And where is there 100 rupees note? Oh, take it out. Put it in the center of that pindadan. Cover it. Now come, I will come with you. I will do your pindadan. Come. And then they go to the Ganges, and along with that cow dung, the note is also offered to the Ganges. Wash your hands properly. Good. Take a deep and remember the Lord. Everything will be all right. And then Mahatma goes back. The cow dung and the note has also gone back. And again he was Ekameva Dvitiya. And then again, as usually started meditation, perfectly all right. So, again after 2 days, is your problem solved? Yes. Now there is no problem. So what was the problem? Vikshipta. The mind is obsessed with something. And one thing is enough. That is why our 6th chapter told us, Sankalpa prabhavan kaman tyaktva sarvan asheshataha. Not one single sankalpa about anything in this world. So, the kshipta bhumika is one, then the mudha bhumika is one, then the third is the vikshipta bhumika is one. How important it is. This is what Bhagavan Shankara says, Bhumi Jaya Kramena. Don't take these words, okay, Bhumi Jaya Kramena afterwards, but what is the meaning? Must go deep in our understanding. Then what is the fourth one is the Ekagra Bhumika. And you remember, unless the Samadhi is practiced in the Ekagra Bhumika, it is not the Samprajñata Samadhi. Unless it is the Samprajñat Samadhi, it cannot be called as the Yoga. See, yesterday only we have studied this. So, Samadhi means what? You are able to control your mind. You can control it when you go to sleep. You can control it when you take drugs or drinks or anything intoxicating. Mind is controlled. But that controlled mind is not Samadhi or Yoga rather. Because When the mind is in the first three bhumikas, Kshipta, Moodha and Vikshipta, and that mind you compress, it remains compressed. But the inner impurities and problems, they are maintained, they are not given up. Therefore, unless we come to this ekagra chitta, and this ekagrata is having said here, manasa achalena. See, prayana kale manasa achalena. So the mind becomes undisturbed, single pointed. So single pointed of the mind is brought by bhaktya yuktaha. As we have seen in our Ramana Maharshi's Updeshasar, Karma Yoga is for purification of the heart, and the Bhakti Yoga is for Chitta Aikagryam, for the single pointedness of the mind. That is why Manasa Achalena Bhaktya Yuktaha, and then Yoga Valena, now you have got the strength to control the mind. Now this mind is powerful, strong, fully available to you. Now that mind is focused in the heart, and then it enters as if the Sushumna Nadi. Now be very attentive. When the mind is in the Kshipta, Moodha and Vikshipta Bhumika, it cannot be integrated. It is always having the loose ends. Like, if you want to put the thread into the eye of the needle, it should not have any loose end. If there are loose end, it will not allow the entry. In the same manner, the loose ends of the mind are these three bhumikas: Kshipta, Moodha and the Vikshipta. When these three are fully controlled, then the mind becomes completely single-pointed, ekagra. Now that ekagra condition of the mind is called as the Sushumna Nadi. So this mind now enters the Sushumna Nadi. So, Urdhvagaminyam Nadya. See, Urdhvagamini Nadi is the Sushumna Nadi. So through this Sushumna Nadi, Bhumi Jaya Kramena, thereafter, Bhruvoho Madhye Pranama Avesha Samyak Sthapayitva. Then you bring your prana in the middle of the eyebrows. So Bhruvoho Madhye doesn't mean exactly here, but according to the Yoga Shastra, right behind this Agya Chakra and above the spine there is a point. This is where is the Ajna Chakra. So, bringing the mind, bringing the prana with the strength of the mind. So, pranamavesha samyak. So, what we have done? Prana by itself, it will not move unless it is prompted. Now, what is happening? Be very attentive. This Manashakti is pushing the prana. And what is the prana? Prana is the Kriya Shakti. So the Kriya Shakti and the Jnana Shakti, they are merging together through the Sushumna Nadi just behind this Agya Chakra. And it is here alone that the Jivatma is liberated. So, Pranamavesha Samyak Sthapayitva. Samyak means what? Apramattaha san. And while doing this, one has to be extremely alert. So, apramattaha san evam buddhiman yogi. Thereafter what happens? No, don't get lost only in the dullness. Oh, there is no thought. Very good. No, don't stop the thinking process. Then, kavim puranam ityadi lakshanam tam purusham upayati pratipadyate divyam jyotanatmakam. After having fixed the mind in the bhuro madhe, then you start recognizing what was said, Kavim Purana Manusha Sitaram. Oh, that what was introduced to us through the words of the teacher are these. And thus he comes to discover this is that. Therefore, there are two types of samadhis. One is the Jada Samadhi, where by mechanical control through pranayam the mind is controlled. But that Jada Samadhi will never take you to the Lord. So the second one is, when we have conquered the first three bhumikas, we have come to the Ekagra bhumika with the devotion to the Lord, we start reflecting on the meaning of Kaving Puranam Anushasitaram. And thus one comes to discover Tam Purusham Upayati Divyam. One comes to experience what was said by the teacher, what was reflected upon by the student, and what is experienced on the seat of meditation. See how important. This is how the body is to be left from, and this is the first step. We are not yet left the body. We are still in the body. Okay. Now, continuing further, punaha api vakshamanena upayena pratipitshitasya brahmanaha vedavit vadanadi visheshana visheshasya abhidhanam karoti Bhagavan. Now again, what was said in Kavim Puranam Manushasitaram, that Parabrahma Paramatma Tattva is again being explained through different angles. Which are those different angles? So that the student is having no doubt. The 11th mantra, Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Vishanti Yad Yatayo Vitaragaha Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe Yad Aksharam Veda Vido Vadanti. Then Yad Yatayaha Vitaragaha Vishanti. Third, Yad Ichantaha Brahmacharyam Charanti. These are the three aspects about the reality, so that the seeker on the last leap in his life is able to understand. What is this? Yad Aksharam. Aksharam Naksharati di Aksharam. Avinashi. Yad Aksharam Vedavidaha Vadanti. Who is the Vedavidaha? Those who are the knowers of the meaning of the Vedic mantras. For example, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, what? Tadva etadaksharam gargi brahmana abhivadanti. Hey Gargi, Yajnavalkya tells his wife, hey Gargi, this aksharam is recognized by the seekers of the truth. In this manner, these brahmanas, they talk about this Parabrahma Paramatma as aksharam. So yadaksharam brahma vido vadanti. This is how Paramatma is discussed, talked about in the Vedas. And how is talked about? Sarva vishesha nivartakatvena abhivadanti. They are talking always in the language of negation. See? Sarva vishesha nivartakatvena. Because what we understand, in reference to that only something can be told. Because the rule is, the unknown is reached through the reference of the known. When we don't know some particular person, how he is introduced, then we find out, whom do you know? Do you know so and so? I said, yes. Who doesn't know? He is the big cheat of Bombay. Yes, he is his son-in-law. Okay, now understood. So immediately from the known we reach the unknown. So here also, what is known to us? Sthula, gross we know. Therefore the truth is asthulam. We not only we know the sthulam, gross, but we also know the atom. Very good. Ananu. In this manner, the truth is revealed always in the language of negation. So yad aksharam veda vido vadanti, meaning what? The truth is spoken of as Brahma, undying, avinashi, eternal, and described through the language of negation, and therefore the truth cannot be spoken of. It is beyond the scope of the words and the language. Yadaksharam veda vido vadanti. Further, kincha vishanti pravishanti samyak darshana praptau satyam yad yatayaha yatanashilaha sannyasinaha vitaraga vigataha rago yebhyaha te vitaragaha. Similarly, ye vitaragaha te vishanti pravishanti. Those who are free from any attachment to this world, vitaragaha therefore means free from both raga and the dvesha. So those who are beyond the likes and dislikes, and yatanashilaha, and their likes and dislikes is absent not because they are sleeping, they are still awake in this world. And yatanashilaha, they are putting sincere efforts so that the mind is no more disturbed by any perception. Such sincere seekers, pravishanti yam, where they enter. That means all these seekers of truth are interested only in this absolute reality which they discover in their own heart. So, Vedantis, Vedavidaha, they talk about this Paramatma Tattva and recognize through knowledge. First. Second thing, the yogis, sannyasis, dispassionate seekers of truth, they discover this Akshara Tattva, this reality, in the cave of their heart. Guha hitam varishtham. So, they discover it and enter as if in that. So, their understanding is Saguna Nirakar. Now, the third category. Yaccha aksharam icchantaha jnatum iti vakya sheshaha. So, aksharam jnatum icchantaha. So, and the third, the students, the seekers, the brahmacharis, they desire us of knowing what the Brahman is, what the Akshara Tattva is, what the reality is. They brahmacharyam charanti, they lead the life of extreme discipline, celibacy, and stay with the teacher and who is engaging them only in the Brahman, nothing else. Brahmacharyam charanti, no other topic, no other theme. So, tatte padam. Now, tatte padam sangrahena pravekshe. Now, that padam, tat aksharakham padam padaniyam te tubhyam sangrahena sangraha sankshepaha tena sanksepena pravakshe kathayishyami. So, that padam means what? Aksharakham. Padam means padaniyam. Padaniyam means which has to be reached. Pada means the legs, the feet. Padaniyam, which has to be reached. And how we reach? When we stop running around. The truth is always there. You know, in the language of devotion, they say, you take one step and God will walk 10 steps towards you. How the one becomes 10? When you add 0 after 1. So when you take one step, God does nothing. Because the problem is not the availability of the God. He is available everywhere. We are not available to Him even once. So you take one step and He is available to you. So, tatte padam padaniyam, that which is worthy of reaching, tubhyam sangrahena pravakshe, I shall tell you sankshepena, sankshePataha, in short I shall tell you. So, in this manner, this mantra is from the Kathopanishad. So, he has referred to Kathopanishad, and in his commentary, Bhagwan Shankara brings our Prashnopanishad, because this Om is to be taken as the support. Om ittekaksharam brahma vyaharan ma manusmaran. In this chapter it will come. There Bhagwan has told us in the 7th chapter how the jnani is always contemplating on this Om, this Parabrahma, Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Now Bhagavan Shankara says, introduction to the 12th mantra. Sayo havai tad bhagavan manusheshu prayanantaram omkaram abhidhyayita katamam vavasatena lokam jayatiti tasmai sa hovacha. Etad vai satyakama parancha parancha brahma jadonkaraha iti upakramya yaha punaha etam trimatrena om iti eva ena aksharena param purusham abhidhyayita ityadina vachanena. When we will come to the 5th question in our Prashnopanishad, there this Satyakama, he asked this question, that, O teacher, kindly tell, when a person is on the deathbed and he is engaged in the Onkar Upasana, Om, Om. You know what happens? We are so much accustomed to these devotion to the Lord with names and forms. When we say Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, or when we say Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, we feel, that there is some support. We feel that there is something that is helping us. But when it comes to Om, and we don't understand, in this the I merges. Therefore, this Onkara sadhana is a very, very high order. It's not for everybody. So, when a person prayanantaram Onkaram abhidhyayita, at the time of his chanting Om, remembering Om, abhidhyayita, contemplating on Om. Contemplation on Om is at 3 levels. Either with ekakshara or dvekshara or all the 3. This is what he will take, 3 matrena. So he who is thus chants Om at the time of departure from the body, katamam vavasate sa tena lokam jayatiti. So where does he reach? What is the destination that he reaches when he leaves the present body by chanting Om? So, tasmai sa hovacha satyakama param chaparam cha brahma yadonkaraha. Then this Satyakama is told by the Pipalad Rishi, hey Satyakam, understand, this Onkara has both the meanings, Parabrahma as well as the Aparabrahma. Now see, if your understanding of the Onkara is Aparabrahma, you will end up in the Aparabrahma, in the relative realm. Aparabrahma means relative existence. So what is the relative existence? Now you are in the Mrityu Loka, now you are doing the sadhana, and by this I will go to the Brahma Lok, and there Brahmaji will be conducting the Satsang, and there he will give me the knowledge, and in this manner I continue to be in the relative realm of existence. If that is the meaning of Om I have discovered or accepted, I shall reach there. And if the meaning of Om is recognized as the absolute reality, then atra eva samashnute, then here and now alone the truth is revealed. Therefore, this 8th chapter is talking about the liberation through stages. In the 9th chapter, hereafter it will come, there Bhagavan tells now and here, everywhere. This 8th chapter in between has come because Arjuna has asked this question, at the time of death, how to remember. Bhagavan is never talking about death. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha. But people are interested more in death than in Bhagavan or Paramatma. So for them, this topic is brought in between. So this is called as liberation of I. So this I, the Jiva, is liberated, but there is no liberation from the Jiva Bhava. Jiva Bhava is maintained. See, if you understand it this way, how I understood it is like this. Once I was probably in Delhi somewhere, it was raining and tube lights were there where I was sitting, and one lizard came and she wanted to have her bite. So there was some insect. And a small baby lizard came. From the other side, a strong Dada lizard came. And the Dada lizard came and started pushing that small baby outside. No, I will take it. So the small one protecting herself from the bigger one. Because I am that small lizard. And then in their fight, that insect ran away. Because that insect was thinking that I am also small one, they will kill me. Now I took a stick and was touching that big lizard. So when I touched the big lizard, that also ran away because somebody will kill me. Now in short, whether the identification is with the insect or the small lizard or the big lizard or the human body, the Jiva Bhava is a common phenomena. See, nothing special about ourselves, thinking that we are human beings. This is the common phenomena in this world. See, another story I had told you once, which came in the mountain path of Ramana Maharshi's ashram. There was a king, he was told by his guru that, "O king, I can see next life you will be born as a pig. However, I bless you that you will remember everything if the following things happen. You tell your minister to catch you and tell in your ear that you are the royal king, not this pig. And then you can leave that body and again get born as a human being and then continue to live as a king in the same family. This blessing I give you, but in between the pig life is bound to come. There is no way out." So the king tells the minister and one day he dies. Thereafter this minister's search begins for the pig. After 1 year he succeeds in finding out the pig which was exactly that description. Then that pig is brought to the royal palace, given a bath, because the royal pig, everything was done. And then in the ear of that pig, the minister tells, "Sir, your highness, you had told me like this, and here I am." The pig immediately starts talking, "Yes, I remember. My guru has told me. But I don't want to come back again in the human form. Why? The joy and the happiness that I have in this form is far superior than in the human form. There I got all worries, the queens are fighting, the other kings are attacking, and then there is a lot of politics going on. Here in this life I am enjoying every moment. How does it matter whether I get identified with the human form or the animal form? Joy is the same." See? So this, after leaving the body, we go to the Pitraloka and Devaloka and the Svargaloka. This is only liberation of I. We do not get out of the relative existence. Fortunately, we are in this Prashnopanishad. There also the same topic. So once you get out of the Prashnopanishad and enter the Mundokopanishad, then you will see that all this relative existence is only for those who are unable to discard their attachment to this relative existence. So, He Satyakama param cha brahma yadonkaraha. Now whatever you understand the meaning of Om, if you understand relative existence, okay, you go to heaven. If you understand the Parabrahma, then you end up in the absolute and discard the relative. Therefore, it is yaha punaha etam trimatrena om iti etena eva aksharena param purusham abhidhyayita. The same Onkar can be used for recognizing the absolute reality. He attains that supreme self. Then our Nachiket in our Kathopanishad tells Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. See? He was not interested in the relative existence. Don't tell me that you will go to hell and heaven, or I will send you to the heaven. and take all these beautiful things in this world, in the heaven. They will come and serve you. So Nachikeeta says, look here, you are trying to catch me in the relative existence, I am not interested. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat. Dharma falls in the relative existence. And in this manner, starting the topic, then the teacher Yamaraj tells Nachikeeta, Sarve Veda Jatpadam Amananti, Tapamsi Sarvani Jat Vadanti, Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti, Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi, Om Itte Tada. This Kathopanishad mantra is lifted, stolen by Kanhaiya Lal, but never referred. See, this is from the Kathopanishad. Only one difference he has made. This is how you know the theft is intelligently done. Sangrahena Pravakshe. And it is, the original mantra is Sangrahena Bravimi Om Itte Tada. So Om is the meaning of that Akshara Parabrahma Ityadi Vachanehi. Now Parasya Brahmanaha Vachakarupena Pratimavat Pratikarupena Cha Parabrahma Pratipatti Sadhanatvena Manda Madhyama Buddhinam Vivakshitasya Onkarasya Upasanam Kalantare Muktiphalam Uktam. Now those who are dull-witted, see, Manda Buddhi, Manda Madhyama Buddhinam. In our Panchadashi, when we study, there 11th chapter is Brahmananda Yogananda. So Brahmananda is gained through the yoga abhyas, and how you can merge in the Brahmananda through Yogananda is told. But this is not for everybody, because people are Bhoganandi who will like to do the Yogananda. Then for them what is to be done? Then for them the second. So Manda Madhyama Buddhi Nam. For them it is said, see, Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. Everything is dear to us for the sake of the self and not for anything else. And in this manner, the attention is brought on the self. So who is that self for whom everything is dear? And this is how slowly the attention is brought to the self which is other than the body and the world. So here also, this Parasya Brahmanaha Vachakarupena Pratimavata Pratikarupena Cha Parabrahma Pratipatti Sadhanatvena. So this Parabrahma Paramatma is indicated by the Om, and that what is indicated should be seen. But what happens? We are enchanted by the Om Pratika or the Pratima. See? And our enchantment has no limits. Like many people are enchanted with Bhagavad Gita. And their enchantment is their home name, they will say Gita. Then ashram name, Gita Ashram. Then their children's name, Gita 1, Gita 2, Gita 3. What is this Gita? No, this is Bhagavad Gita, this is Avadhut Gita, and this is Vibhishan Gita. Isn't it? And they have got their bus and trucks. Everywhere Gita, Gita, Gita. Enchantment. But what is said in the Gita, they will never know one word about it. In the same manner. Locket, Om. They will start writing the letter on the top, Om. So that Om has become a pratika. It has become only a symbol without understanding ABCD about that poor Om. Who are such people? Bhagwan Shankara. Manda Madhyama Buddhi. So they use this Onkar. Instead of recognizing it as the indicator of the absolute, they get lost only in the relative understanding Apara Brahma of this Onkar. And therefore it is said that Vivikshitasya Onkarasya Upasanam Kalantare Mukti Phalam Uktam. So when you do this Upasana for a long period of time, then you will go to the Brahmalok, and then Te Brahmalokeshu Parantakale Paramrutat Parimuchanti Sarve. And when Brahma is liberated, you will get liberated. And if Brahma is not liberated, you keep on waiting. There is no way out. Meaning, relativity is maintained through and through. Now, tad eva iha api, so here also in this Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter, Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Yadaksharo Vedavido Vadanti iti cha upanyastasya parasya brahmanaha purvokta rupena pratipatti upaya bhutasya omkarasya kalantara mukti phalam upasanam yogadharana sahitam vaktavyam. Here also, this Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram and then Yadaksharam Vedavido Vadanti, for this kind of seekers who are more worried about what happens after death. They are more worried about how to remember the God while dying. They are not remember the God while they are alive. See? So for such people, they are also to be told Kalantara Mukti Upasanam Phalam. So they will also get liberation in due time. So when they leave this body, they have to leave this body according to the yogic practice. Therefore, one thing you please understand, yoga abhyas is definitely essential. There is no second opinion about it. But the principle is, there are many Purushas, one Prakriti, yesterday we have seen. But our Vedanta Shastra tells there is but one reality. There are not many of them. And therefore, that one reality is recognized now and here. It is not posthumous. Posthumous is for whom? Who is believing in relativity. And for them, such a manda buddhi, for them it is said, Omkarasya kalantara mukti phalam upasanam. Therefore, yoga dharana sahitam vaktavyam prasaktanu prasaktam cha. So, yat kinchitam iti etadartha uttaro grantha arabhyate. So, for telling the yoga dharana, so that while leaving the body one remembers the Lord and everything, and therefore yoga abhyas is necessary, and whatever are the in between connected related things, they are all are required to be told, and therefore from the 12th mantra, Bhagavan is telling us the yoga abhyasa, how this yoga abhyasa is to be practiced so that we can discard the body with our own choice. Now here, be extremely attentive. He whose approach to the truth is that na jayate mriyate va vipaschit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya. He whose approach to life is this, that never was an experience for me that I am born, never is an experience that I am growing. It is when others start calling us uncle and azoba, then you start feeling, oh, you have become oldie, not otherwise. And similarly, we do not have the experience of death. Now those who are living their life on this foundation, for them this question will not come. At the time of leaving that body, how to remember God? Why remember God? When you remember the Lord, you are bringing Him in the limitations of the thought. He is beyond the thoughts. Because of Him, every thought comes. So those who are leading their understanding life on the foundation of this Ekameva Dvitiya, for them this will never be an attractive proposition. See? That is why, our Panchadashi tells, Jnani, when he dies, like our Kabir Maharaj said, Kabir Maharaj, he was given the Rama mantra. And he used to chant Rama, he had all the knowledge and everything. And he very clearly tells that if after dying in Kashi you get the moksha or the liberation, then what is the use of the Ramanama? Ramanama should give us liberation anywhere I die. And therefore, I do not want to stay in Kashi. So he didn't stay in Banaras. He stayed beyond the Ganges. And that place is considered to be the place where when you die, you go to hell. He said, I'll see how do I go to hell. See, this boldness is possible only when your foundation is clear. That it is that one reality. There is no coming and going. There is no punarjanma, madhyam janma, paschat janma. See? But what happens, these yogic practices, yoga abhyas, various kinds of shaktis or the siddhis, which are seen, demonstrated in the Siddha Purushas, that becomes an extremely attractive proposition. Now, for example, when a great Jnani Purusha, Jnani tu Atma eva me matam, see in the 7th chapter Bhagavan told us. So when a Jnani Purush established in the absolute reality, whether he dies in the Kashi or he dies on the roadside or he is murdered, it's one and the same. But what is our understanding? Our understanding, what is the use of knowledge? Ultimately, Bhagavan Ramavarshi got a cancer, What is the use of that knowledge? That means realization is anti-cancer. Ram Ram. See? That is not. And if there is another Siddha Yogi who is able to sit in one posture for 20 years. See, there is one picture in that so many places I have seen. There is one yogi sitting like this thing, and all his bones, etc., are only seen, and from his head one light is going out. That becomes extremely attractive for our mind. See? But we forget one basic thing. They are living, reveling only in the relative existence. See, this thing has to be cleared from our mind. Therefore, when a Mahatma takes a Samadhi, see, this is the Samadhi of that great Mahatma, and you go, Namaskar. See what happened in Coimbatore. From Coimbatore, I went to Uti. And we had a camp there. And after the camp, they took me, Swamiji, there is one Samadhi of one Siddha Purusha, somebody, some Sufi saint, Baba ki dargah, something like that. So we went there. So I went and did Namaskar and all that, taking Pradakshina. Then they told me, Swamiji, the one who is sitting on his gaddi, that Mahatma just is here, So we'll take his darshan. I said, let's go and take his darshan. And after 2 minutes, Swamiji, he's already here. I said, okay, we'll go and take darshan. So when you introduced me that he is a Mahatma sitting on the gaddi of this great Mahatma, so what do you expect of me? I went and did Namaskar to him, touched his feet, took his Ashirwad. And those people who came with me, they were standing apart, and this Mahatma spoke to me. And he said, you please come to my house, you have to come that way because you have got a car, I will go by steps. I said, all right. And when we are going by the car, these wise people around me started scolding me. Swamiji, he is just a grahastha. Why did you do Namaskar to him? I said, are you jealous? I will do to you also. No, not like that. And then I said, look here, when I was doing Namaskar to that dead body, you say that I am a great devotee of the Lord. In that Samadhi, made out of stones and bricks, there you ask me to see the God. And in that living being created by the God, in that living being, if I see the God, that is wrong. See? Please understand, it's very important. Therefore, we have to get out of this Krama Mukti Chakkar from our mind. Otherwise, you will be extremely entangled in that. Because this jiva who leaves the body, ayam aham kuto bhavati chinvataha. See? Who is this I? Kutaha bhavati? Where is this I? Kutaha bhavati? And I patatyam. I disappears. In the disappearance of the ego, there is neither bondage nor liberation. Na nirodho na cha utpatti na baddho na cha sadhakaha na muktaha na mumukshurvai ittesha paramarthata. That is the ultimate. And therefore, here yoga dharana sahitam vaktavyam prasanganusaktam. Because the topic has come, Bhagwan Shankara is telling, and Bhagwan Shankara was the greatest yogi. But we have to very clearly understand our foundation of this absolute reality, the non-dual self, should never be shaken, or else we get caught up into a wrong channel of thinking. And therefore, in this 12th mantra, now the yoga abhyas Bhagwan starts. Sarvadvarani sayyamya Manohrudi niruddhya Murdhyadhayatmana pranam Astito yoga dharanam Omittekaksharam brahma Vyaharan mamanusmaran Yaprayati tyajan deham Sayati paramam gatim. We'll take this tomorrow or next class, but in short I'll tell you. You do this all yoga abhyas and leave the body. Now be very attentive. While leaving the body as a jiva, where is your attention? Attention is on Apara Brahma or the Para Brahma. If attention is on the Apara Brahma, that I am leaving this body and now I am liberated from this body, now I have got a total freedom, I can enter any body with my own choice, and thus we get caught up in the Sankhya philosophy. Because there Purushas are many. See? And in this manner, all these abhyasa strength we spend, but it is going in a relative direction. Therefore, here Bhagavan says, O Vittekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mam Anusmaran. But when you are practicing the whole thing, keeping in view the meaning of Om is not the Apara Brahma, but the Para Brahma. And then alone he comes to me. Therefore, he doesn't get lost in the relative existence. Otherwise, whether you are living in India or you go to other countries and live, you continue to suffer. That is not the case. Similarly, whether you are living in the human form or the animal form, or the divine form, the Pitrulok or the Devalok, but that individuality continues to be. See, we hear and see in our Mahabharata, etc., Bhagavad, when this thing happened, gods were showering the flowers. So that is relative existence continues. It will never stop. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna is bringing us very clearly, do not get lost. Subsequently, he will tell that Mamupetya Punarajanma Dukkhale Mashashvata Na Apnuvanti. They will never get lost in this relative existence. The aspects of this settled thought we will take in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.